We've had her on a bit of a diet. She only had 3 or 4 goats this year. That's okay. She's big enough.
In non-Australian English, that was 3 or 4 goats.
Oh, my God.
That's Atomic Betty there, giant python being placed on a diet after zookeepers determined she's significantly overweight. You never say that to a lady, by the way. Snake weighs in at 302 pounds, and it took him a little while to find it out. 6 people had to work a half an hour to carry the snake to the scales for her annual weigh-in. Atomic Betty had been eating 10 goats a year.
Oh, my God.
As you heard the zookeepers say, they are cutting that way down. They are high in cholesterol, after all. Pythons like Atomic Betty, I don't know that for certain. Pythons like Atomic Betty have been known to eat humans and are strong enough to swallow a person whole. So if you aren't already afraid of snakes, there you go. And finally, what does that Yeti crab have in common with David Hasselhoff? No, not the red Speedo. Apparently, it's the chest hair. The BBC says that British scientists have named a newly discovered species of crab after that guy right there, the Baywatch actor. And it's all because they both have hairy chests. The new species was found in the Atlantic and has been dubbed the Hoff, but it's still waiting to get a more scientific name. I would hate to have it called something very scientific sounding.
Because the Hoff sounds good.
Exactly, and the Yeti crab is already pretty appropriate.
Right.
You know, it's shaggy like the abominable snowman.
Pretty cool looking.
Love it. All right. Thanks, Doty.
Now, the snake would probably eat the crab as well.
Only
The snake would eat the Hoff, for
once
Pete's
a month
sake.
or so. Thanks, Tim.
Scary moments for a truck driver in Minnesota after he goes off the highway and crashes into a pond. It happened this morning about 40 miles northwest of Minneapolis. The driver was on I-94 when he lost control and plunged into the water. Amazingly, he was able to escape his semi and crawl across the ice to safety. He was taken to the hospital and released. Investigators are now trying to figure out what caused the accident. Peter Chan now with a look at our weather. We don't have ice that thick around here, and from the looks of it, it's going to be a little while before we do.
I was going to say that driver's really fortunate that pond wasn't any deeper. But...
And our #1 story, 60 minutes not enough, and another bowl game went down to the wire last night. This time it was the Michigan Wolverines who beat Virginia Tech in overtime to win the Sugar Bowl last night. In OT, the Hokies' third-string kicker missed a 25-yard field goal. That meant the Maize and Blue only needed 3 points to win, and they got it as Brendan Gibbons split the uprights for the game winner. You see it right there. He got it from 37 yards out. Now, not to toot anybody's horn, but I believe there was somebody sitting on this couch yesterday who said if it comes down to the kicking game, advantage Michigan.
You did. Well done.
If they had Peter Chan.
Well done. They didn't
Peter didn't have that injured wheel. Maybe he could have helped him out.
Yeah, all right. Some tasty treats sound pretty good right about now. We are going to try some out. Plus, we're also going to tell you how you can win a year's worth of cake. That's coming up.
And fans of Apple founder Steve Jobs can help his memory live on. We got details on a new action figure, and it's going to be hard to tell which is real and which is fake. That's coming up in a bit.
All right, here's your weather now in 17 seconds. Quite a few clouds around Grand Rapids. Current temperature 34 tonight. Cooler, a slight drop off in temperature. Partly cloudy skies, a low of 26.
Tomorrow looks like it'll be a little bit warmer. Partly sunny with a high near 40. Peter has that full forecast coming up. A man who assaulted a woman while trying to break into her grandparents' home will spend between 26 and 41 years in prison. Craig Allen Frost received his sentence today. Last month, Frost pleaded guilty to charges of first-degree home invasion and assault with intent to do great bodily harm. Police say he broke into the home in Schoolcraft and found the owner's 19-year-old granddaughter inside cleaning. They say he beat her, breaking her skull and some ribs. His record shows he's already served time in prison for vehicular manslaughter and the killing and torturing of animals. This is why.
Yeah, here's why. A lawsuit against Pepsi gaining a lot of attention today around the web. We got to tell you, though, this is quite disturbing. It's gross.
A guy in Illinois trying to sue the company because he claims to have found a dead mouse inside a can of his Mountain Dew. But Pepsi says that's darn near impossible because a dead mouse, this is the crazy part, a dead mouse would dissolve if submerged in Mountain Dew over an extended period of time. Pepsi even had a veterinary pathologist weigh in on it.
Yeah, and he testified that if there truly was a mouse in the can, the body would have turned into, quote, a jelly-like substance. The guy claims that he noticed a foul taste, then he poured the drink into a cup and discovered the rodent inside. He wants $50,000 in damages. Okay, I don't know what's more disturbing. There's the thought of finding the mouse, or that the Mountain Dew can do
Their
that. What's it
defense
doing
that-
to
yeah.
your stomach? I know, I can't imagine they think that's a good idea, but that's our hot topic.
Yeah, we
today.
want to know if you think Pepsi's defense is valid or just plain scary.
Yeah, on Facebook, Brandon Parsons says, yes, it's valid, but I wouldn't want to drink a pop that has enough acid in it to be able to dissolve a mouse.
Brandon Cook says, even if this is true, I won't stop drinking it. It's too good. Most ingredients in pop are super bad for you, but that won't stop most people from drinking it.
Sandy Ricker says, interesting, just another reason not to drink pop. It rots your teeth, gut, and kills those adorable garage
Look at our
mice.
graphic there.
No,
we need a graphic of a Mountain Dew can and a mouse.
All right, leave a comment for us on our Facebook page. I don't think it's true. Isn't it the whole, like, how to get the mouse in
Yeah,
there?
I believed Bob and Doug when they did it, but not believing the Mountain Dew.
Yeah. All right, more to come tonight on Fox 17 News at 5.
Scary situation in Grand Haven when an armed man tried to rob the post office. Hear what charges he can face and get reaction from people who were inside during the robbery. It's a new law on the books saying convicted felons cannot hold public office in the city of Kentwood. Now, city leaders must decide whether a current commissioner with a past felony conviction can keep his seat. That decision will be made at a public hearing tonight. Ray Verwise has been a commissioner in the city since 2009, and in November, voters passed a charter amendment that prohibits felons from being qualified to serve in elected office. That includes Verwise, who pleaded guilty to 2 felony embezzlement counts 10 years ago. Tonight's hearing will determine whether he should be allowed to finish the remaining 2 years of his 4-year term. Kentwood's mayor says tonight will be quasi-judicial, with a lawyer presenting information before the community is allowed to testify. Verwise has spoken with an attorney who said he may have a case against the city if he is removed. That hearing begins at 7.